Hi, a good day to everybody. In our series of videos on public speaking, I have so far introduced to you three greatest personalities in the world. They are Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, and Ivanka Trump. And I have told you that their speeches are being watched by millions of people in the world even today. But today, I decided to introduce to you a Sri Lankan speaker, very talented, eloquent speaker, but attention has not so far been paid to this particular quality of this particular great personality. And he is very famous as a cricketer. He's a world famous cricketer, and he is none other than Kumar Sangakkara. When you very closely observe and try to analyze the speeches done by Kumar Sangakkara, that you can find a few or several very interesting features which he very nicely used to get the attention from the audience. And out of all these features, one important or the interesting feature is his ability to look at the multicultural world with big perspectives. And that Sri Lanka is becoming more and more multicultural, and the whole world is becoming more and more multicultural. And we address not to one particular nation or category of people or ethnic group, no. And we got used in our talk to this multicultural society. And in many of the speeches, I have noticed that Kumar Sangakkara take great efforts to look at the world, this multicultural world, and just to use in our persuade to the people that if we do not get together, we cannot stand as one nation. In the speech that you're going to watch next, you will find how he uses this particular feature.
You can't live in isolation. All of us are connected. And you see that today. You're seated alongside your peers. And all of them are just like you with hopes and dreams and ambitions. And you have a responsibility towards each other to ensure that along with your own success, you make sure that someone else succeeds along with you. I would like all of you to join me in one small exercise. Can you all see me? Yeah? How many fingers? 5. Your faculty has done a great job. 5. Right? Now take for imagine only one part of our country, one moving part of our country. Right? Let's forget the thumb. Let's start with just the 4 fingers. Right? One moving part. Right? Use the other hand. Just one moving part, all of you together. Come on. Whether it's just the Sinhalese race, whether it's just the Buddhists. This is one. Another part of our society, another part of our country. Right? That's 2. Yeah? Now add a third. Now add every part of our country working together. Come on. Do you hear that noise? That is the noise of what Sri Lanka sounds like when we all work together. And that is a great part of your responsibility. Forget what people before you have done. Just make sure that when you have the opportunity to address a generation that follows, that you have ensured that Sri Lanka, all of Sri Lanka, combined together, celebrates as one. Thank you.
Yes, yet another important feature of his speeches is the storytelling technique. And I just used to now talk about this particular feature, right, related to the speeches done by the three other personalities I have introduced so far. And Kumar Sangakkar too uses this storytelling technique. Now, when you listen to him, it's just like a story, right from the very beginning to the end. And he uses a lot of personal anecdotes and the stories from his life, from his family, and from the events that he underwent, and the circumstances that he had to face, and the challenges that he faced. And this particular using of feature enables him to engage the audience in his speech very, very effectively.
So I think I'll get straight into it. So how did you start playing cricket? Was cricket always the sport that you loved? Who did you watch growing up?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much. Being a has-been cricketer, applause are always nice. It does my ego a world of good. No, I started cricket seriously quite late. I played cricket from a very young age. I was born in a small city in the Central Hills, and then moved to Kandy, where I grew up and lived most of my formative years until I finished school. And I went to a Christian missionary school, very much based on public schools here. So we had to take part in almost all the sports that you were good at or had an affinity to. And I played tennis mostly, started with badminton, which I soon realized some people don't consider a sport. But I swam, so I did quite a few things. And the only reason why I chose cricket at the back end was that all my friends played cricket. It's a lot more fun than a solitary sport like tennis.
Yes. Kumar Sangakkara is really authentic. When you listen to his speeches, that you can find he's very genuine and down to earth, natural. And some speakers, when they come to the stage, when they begin speaking, you notice that they are rather artificial, sophisticated, not natural. But Kumar Sangakkara is entirely different. This particular quality matters a lot when you are going to make a speech to the public, because only when the public comes to know that you are natural, authentic, and honest, they are highly interested in listening to you. And the way Kumar Sangakkar uses the language, he presents his ideas very logically by using simple language. And this language is understandable. It can be understood by all the people. And you see, his structures, I mean, the language structure that he uses are also very simple. And this is also a very important quality, because if you are going to speak to the public use, by using very advanced structures, they find it rather difficult to understand this particular clarity. Now, his ideas are really clear, right? And when the people listen to him very easily, they can understand what Kumar Sangakkara is telling them.
And sport plays a huge part in that journey. For today, it is not about sitting in a classroom, it is not about sitting with your mobile phone or your laptop or your TV. You're out in the sun forming real human bonds with others of your age, peers. And that interaction you can use to inspire yourselves to be better.
Yes, a man must have his own philosophy. Kumar Sangakkara has his own way of looking at the life, the world, his own philosophy. You can very clearly understand this aspect of his life in his speeches. And he's very intelligent, knowledgeable, well informed, not only of the cricket, but of the other things as well. And but he didn't go to York that he's an intellectual, and he's telling something very advanced to the people. But I told you that he used a very simple language, and if you observe his speeches, very, very analytically, then you can find that he has a wonderful philosophy of his own, and his views are based on this particular philosophy. And look at the next clip and you see whether you too can organize your speeches in the way that he does.
So there is inspiration in this room. All you have to do is look around and you will find it. Cricket is a kind of a funny game because it is slightly different to all other sports, not just in Sri Lanka but also around the world. Cricket is underpinned by certain human values, certain characteristics, certain ways of behavior, both on and off the field, from all of you young cricketers. It is not always about the bat and the ball. It is always also about the person, about who you are. Because who you are shines through at all times in the manner that you play the game on the field and also how you carry yourself off the field. And cricket is probably the only sport that has, as a preamble to its laws and rules and regulations, something called the spirit of cricket. Now, the spirit of cricket is a guide. The laws of cricket does not contravene or go against the spirit of the game, but there are certain times when the laws and the rules and the playing conditions don't really cover everything that happens in an instant. And
Your speeches must be inspiring, and you must be able to motivate the audience. Now you see how Kumar Sangakkara does it, and throughout the speech, he inspired the people. And if he talks to a young crowd, you can find that he inspires the members of that particular crowd. He motivates them, and he tries to develop positive attitudes right among the people, among his audience. And also, a very important thing is that he gives hope and he develops a confidence in the people. And his whole speech is committed or is devoted to this particular aspect. That's one of the very interesting or important aspects I find in his speeches.
that is the beauty of this game that we all love. All of you today are exceptional young cricketers. From here onwards, it is up to you to decide your future. Some of you will join clubs, some of you will continue to think and dream of playing for your country. And to do that, what is required is planning, a lot of hard work, having the right guides and coaches along the way, making sacrifices, going through tough times, but above all, believing in the fact that if you work hard enough and work the right way, your skill, your talent, and your ability will be good enough. You don't have to make friends with your coaches. You don't have to make friends with the umpires. You don't have to have powerful people in the cricket board in your corner. You don't have to entertain journalists to write well about you, thinking that that will get you ahead. All you have to do is work hard, plan properly, commit, focus, concentrate, and when the opportunity comes, display your skills to the world.
Yes, in my previous videos, I described to you what empathy is. It's a very important quality everyone must have. What's this empathy? Empathy means that your ability to look into the interest of the other people, to look into the internal framework of the other people, to look into how other people have understood the world, how they will. Then only it becomes easier for you to get your message across to the people. Kumar Sangakkara very nicely does it. And finally, emotional and becoming emotional in your speeches. And many people say, you see, now you should not become more emotional or uncontrollable. But emotional intelligence is becoming more, right, what should I say, famous. Now, it's become a very famous topic these days, you see now. It's a very important concept for our life, and the emotional intelligence is more important for our lives. But at times, Kumar Sangakkara becomes emotional, but he controls himself very nicely. Now, this way of becoming emotional is also a way for us to now get the audience's attention, or the attention of the audience. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to sort of arouse their emotions and just to make them confused. No, not that. This emotional involvement that engages the audience emotionally in what you are going to say is a very important feature of good speech.
A lot of people ask me, who inspired me? And I always say that I didn't have to look far for inspiration, because I had my parents here with me, and I'm sorry, I don't want to embarrass you too much, but I didn't have to look far from my own home for inspiration, because I had the most amazing parents that anyone could wish for. I had amazing siblings, and all the support, the love that they've showed over the years, whether I played cricket or not, whether I did well or not, the only place that I could go and feel safe was at home. And thank you, Amma and Appachi. Thank you. To Cookie, Tushari, and Vemindra. Thank you to all my in-laws. I've been blessed with an extended family. They always say you can't choose your family, you can only choose your friends. But I'm so glad that I was born as your children and your siblings. Thank you very much. I'm sorry, I don't usually get emotional, but it's very rarely that my parents and my family come and watch me play, and I'm very, very thankful. And